Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bolt Hole Biker, where things are just starting to get a little bit interesting. You might notice that behind me there's a bit of a monstrosity, which I'm already calling Frankenstein, because it's basically held together with millions of cable ties. I'll give you the story. I've had tickets for the MCN Festival, which is in September, start of September, since before the lockdown. And since the lockdown, they've now reintroduced moped racing, which they always used to do, and they haven't done for years. It's called Moped Mayhem, and it is a 4-hour endurance race for, there's 3 categories of bikes. There's a 50cc twist and goes, anything up to 50cc geared, so it could be like little sort of pit bikes and things like that, mini motos, and C90, I think it's C70 and C90 cub engine bikes, which is what this is. So I thought, oh, that looks fun, I'll have a go at that. So I've entered a team, the Bolt Hole Bikers team, into the Moped Mayhem that's coming up in about 6 weeks' time, I think. And we didn't have a bike, so I said, right, well, I'll put in for a bike. The budget wasn't high, but I thought, well, I can buy a moped, that's fine, and we'll tweak it and do what we need to do to it to make it race worthy, and we'll put the team in and we'll enter this race. So anyway, this behind me was an unseen eBay purchase. And it was described as an unfinished project. I got it for a pretty good price, so I kind of maybe should have read the writing on the wall there. But this is not an unfinished project. This is an unstarted project, basically. So I've now got about 5 or 6 weeks to turn this bike into something that we can race on, basically. Luckily, it's not a C90 restoration. It's a C90 strip back, really. I'm going to be stripping it back to bare bones. Nothing that doesn't need to be on there is going to be on there. It doesn't need lights, it doesn't need fairings. I'm going to have to upgrade the suspension. We're going to have to put some off-road tyres on it, because Moped Mayhem is on a motocross type track. It looks really fun, actually. I don't even know if it starts. It's a kickstart bike, there's no Kickstarter on it. None of the electrics come on, so the battery's clearly flat. The brakes don't work, or at least the front brake doesn't work. And every panel on it is pretty much held on with cable ties. But, and here's the big but for me, if I can get the engine running and the engine's strong, then we've got the bare bones, something to base this bike on, and it's just going to be good fun. So I'm just going to strip a few bits off it now, see if I can diagnose just how much of a project I've got on my hands. And then over the next month or so, I'll be getting this bike to not a roadworthy, doesn't need to be roadworthy, but to a race-worthy state. And then myself and 3 other riders are going to form the Bolt Hole Bikers team, and we are going to see if we can ride it for 4 hours solid down at the MCN Festival. I think the festival's the 5th and 6th of September, and I think Moped Mayhem is on the 6th, so it will be the second day of the show. So if you're interested in following us through this and seeing what happens, then stay tuned to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and anytime I do one of these videos, then you'll be notified. But in the meantime, let's see if we can get under the skin of Frankenstein. very first things I'm going to have to do is get a kickstart for it, because I can't see if it even turns over yet. I did just try it a minute ago with a pair of mould grips, but it didn't work. They were just slipping. I tried borrowing the kickstart off my dirt bike, but it's got a bigger diameter bore. So I need to get a kickstart to see if it turns over. I'm going to take this off and see what's behind this little panel. Held on with 2 washers and a cable tie. This one's got a screw. Very posh. Bugger all behind it though. We won't be needing lights where we're going, Scotty. I think I'm definitely going to have to get a new brake lever and definitely a cable, but the brake looks like it does work if you can get a cable that pulls it. A lot of this will be unnecessary because it's just to do with indicators and lights and what have you. That actually goes on before the handlebar, so I could take the handlebar off, or I could just cut that out. I don't need it, and it's cracked and buggered anyway. It's C90 demolition. I know this seems a bit brutal, and I know that some people absolutely love C90s and they want to restore them and keep them all lovely and whatever. And believe me, I would love a really nicely restored C90. I've not got nothing against C90s. I'm not hurting this bike out of spite. It's just this bike's been bought for one reason and one reason only, and that is to race at the Moped Mayhem. That means it needs to be a race bike. So it doesn't need lights, it doesn't need indicators, it doesn't need fairings, it doesn't need anything that it doesn't need. All I want is a bare bike with a decent engine, decent suspension, good tyres, decent wheels and brakes. At the moment I don't have any of those things. So I think there's going to be some more eBay purchases between now and the 6th of September. But this is going to look like a very different bike by then. going to be fast. Oh yeah. Fast-ish. Fast as in fast for a C90. Look, there's a 21st century fixing on here. There's actually a Torx bit. The Torx screw. I think I'll be taking that off. Well, it's 2 days since I started shooting this video. I haven't done anything else to the bike apart from I took this back piece off, but it's going to need some. It's going to need a bit of grinding and some tidying up. But the reason I haven't shot anything between then and now is I'd ordered this, a kickstart, and this is going to enable me to see whether the engine actually runs. So we have the missing piece here. Let's see if it runs. Well, it fits, so that's a good start. Well, that's the kickstart fitted. Let's see if it kicks. Frankenstein lives! Well, it runs. No, it starts. And it actually sounds alright, so let's see if it rides.
Don't need pressing this too far.
She's a runner. Okay, so she runs, which I'm over the moon about. She changes gear, which is good. The engine actually feels quite strong, like really strong. So I'm really happy about that. The kickstart jams on the exhaust, so that will need sorting. There's literally no front brake at all. Back brake works. I'm going to try and change this just so that I can get rid of this whole instrument panel. So I'm hoping to just have a kill switch. I don't want to have the whole instrument panel and whatever. This can all be cleaned up. Most of these electrics will be able to go, I think. So stay tuned to the channel. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been interesting. I hope the future videos get even more interesting. And I hope we win the race. Which is, we won't. We won't win the race, don't worry. We're not going to win. We might, but we won't. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for watching. Bye. Frankenstein. Frankenstein.